Good evening, and welcome back to my channel. So, you can probably see I haven't gotten too much farther. Well, I have sort of. There was quite a bit of little bits and doodads here that I'll go over as we go through this. But for the last couple of weeks, the last few days or so, it's been kind of hectic. Off of the modeling bench, but I did get some things done. So I do, as you can see, I do have the wheels or the landing struts on. The wheels are actually, these are just dry fit, because I'm still going to be I've still got some more detail work to do on those. The forward gear actually is in place. That one's fully done, and I've started to weather up the inside and give it some shading and some other little details. So let's talk about the details. I did not do as much as I would like on it, and I'm okay, right? So how much detail do I really need to put into here, right? So let's talk about that. I'm gonna put up a picture here of the forward landing gear. Right, so that's what the forward landing gear and the landing gear wheel well looks like. And this is what we have. Let me bring the light over here so we can actually see it. There we go. All right, so this is what we have. Yes, I've added some other cabling and some other things, and there's some other cables around on the wheels. But am I going all the way to that level of that picture? No. And honestly, the question is why? Why would I? For the most part, the forward landing gear, you're just not going to see it, right? When this is down and sitting, even if it's sitting on a high shelf, looking up in, most of the details you're going to see is around here on the front, just on the front part of the landing gear. Now the side wells, right? The side wheel wells, a whole different ball game. So, picture here of what the sidewells look like. Right, so that's the side wheel well, and those are, it's the majority up in here. It's all this stuff in here. Now I did go in and I did add, I'm going to bring this light back over here so again we can see in there. I did add a couple more cables so they go up in there, and I did the same over here. I also have, which you can kind of sort of see, thing here. This cables down there. So those there are details that were not there before. Those are just cabling detail I'm putting in there, or I have put in there. This one's right here. That runs the length of that. It goes along part of the seam, and then there's a bunch of stuff that would go in this space. Now, when the doors are on, let me get the door here. I think this is the right door. This is the correct door. Yeah, this is the correct door. So when this door is on, it's going to sit right here. And I actually can see down the front, and I can see what's up in there. I can't see what's up in here, but I can see a bunch of stuff here. So I can add some more cabling and detail in that space. Again, I am not going to go to the extent that picture has, simply because it's not worth the effort, honestly, to me. Adding some things in there will be nice. It'll be a nice practice and a nice thing to do, which is, again, the whole point I'm doing this, is doing the practice. But I don't need to completely recreate everything that's going on in there, and that is because I'm okay with that. I'm going to reiterate this. I know that there are going to be some things on this that are either not entirely accurate, not accurate at all, or whatever. And that's okay with me. This is a model from a movie. It is, yes, a real Tomcat. It's a real squadron. It's a real everything. And I am okay with things being not accurate. I'm not quite the aficionado that a lot of the experts who lived in these things for 20 years or however long they flew them is, and that's okay. And please don't, I don't mean this in any negative way toward anybody else. It's not my thing. I am going to do my best to give myself a look that is nice. So like my F-14, right? My F-4. I did that one in a thing because I like the look of the camo on the F-14. On the F-4, goodness. This one I'm doing it in Jolly Rogers because I like the look of it, and this will look nice sitting next to the said F-4. Goodness, get my mouth working. So with that said, please, folks, feel free to chirp up on accuracies and things for those who watch what I do and are interested in what's the right answer. But the direction I'm going, please don't take offense if I choose not to follow said advice simply because, I'm working on certain things, and this is every model I build is a canvas for practicing something. And as long as I end up happy with what's on my shelf, then that's kind of my goal. So with the details that I've done here and the details I will do, the next step really is the chipping, right? So those two pictures you saw, a lot of marking, a lot of chips really along here. There was a rust color, but they're not really rusty, so they're not like a tank that's been set outside and whatever, but they are dirty. And again, what I am going to do is I want this to be a dirty bird. Again, for my edification and for my practice. This, I'm going to put up here a picture of an F-14 in flight. Yeah. So that picture, I like the look of it. I like the worn look of it, the dirty look of it, and that'll be fun to practice the techniques. So that's where I'm going. The wheel wells and the gear and all, I'll put little bits of chipping, a little bit of weathering in here, and then that's what we're going to do. Another thing that I did do here, and this is just a suggestion, I took sandpaper to this, and you can kind of see where it's been scuffed up, but this doesn't look like brand new clean rubber, and that's why. I went ahead and I hit it with sandpaper, gave it a roughed up edge, and I will probably do it a little bit more along these sides, and then again weathering on the inside the details there. And then once I've done that, right, so that's sort of the last bits, then I can move on to the next phase. Point of awareness, I guess, so white internals, skin color outside, right, and then the doors have this red line, that shows on the open doors all around all of them. So like these here, right? So that's the other side. Was this side, right? So on this side, when this is open, you have these red lines, and I'm not sure why. I just see them in all the pictures, so I've duplicated them. So that when these are sitting open, it is, if you know that they're there and you're looking for them, then it's noticeable if they're not. It's noticeable if that red isn't there. So I did it. It was a pain. That was all just hairy brush and detail painting, but it is what it is. But it did matter, right? It does matter. It makes a difference in the look. That said, moving on. Once I'm done with the wheels, I can then go to work on putting on transfers. So transfers are the next step. And you can see I've kind of started. The future is already down on the surface. So once I put the transfers on, bottom and top, then I can future it one more time seal everything down, and then get to work on doing the weathering. I did put these back vanes on because I actually have started messing around with the transfers. So the Jolly Rogers transfers. I'm going to mention a little bit about this. This was the kit I got from, and I can read it sort of out here, and as soon as I put it in front of the camera, I can't. So from camdecals.com, right? So this was the kit from the Jolly Rogers. I love these things; are fantastic. They go on beautifully. And folks, that's me laying them down with microset, microsaw, and just a layer of future. If I really want to, I can hit this with a light super fine sand and future it one more time, but you don't even really need to, because of the way of how well it lays down. So I put these down, hit it with one layer of future over top, and this tail fin, as far as I'm concerned, is ready for weathering. I have dealt with decals transfers that are a royal pain, that are thick, Revell. I won't say Revell, but Revell, that are 14 millimeters thick. I'm kidding, and just pathetic. These custom decals are like Cartograph, right? I've worked with Cartograph. These are like Cartograph. These are great. They are really thin, very thin, very flimsy. Make sure if you do use these, put these down on your surface. Make sure they are where you want them to be before you hit them with microsol. Microsol is amazing, and microsol does a great job, but make sure that you have microset these things and that they are where you want them to be before you hit them with microsol, because once these things get hit with microsol, they are very fragile. They come right apart. And I found that out the hard way as I was working on that right there, but fortunately I didn't have to move it very far. So now that those are on, I actually put those on and glued those in place, so now I don't have to worry about those. And that's really only there because there was no reason to have them off now that these were on. So I did like doing these when they were put together, because then I could line them up and get those aligned right, and the thing is, I know me, right? If they were off even a little bit and I see these things, from one angle and then they flip over, I'm going to see that they're off, and that would drive me crazy. It would drive me crazy. Some of y'all might not. For me, yeah, it would. So these are done. Those are done. And that's kind of where I am right now. So the next step, and probably, I don't know when I will put another video out, because I'm going to wait until I have finished. I will finish the landing gear. I'm going to finish the transfers. So get the landing gear and the transfers on. I may go so far as putting on these pylons, the ones here and one there, just so that they're on, so that they can then be weathered onto it. The one missile, do I have it ready? Do I have it done? I thought I did. I may not have. Yeah, here it is. So this one missile, I haven't cleaned up or painted or done anything with yet. But this bad boy, he just drops right in here. I apologize for bumping that, but he's just going to drop right in there, and that's where he's going to sit. So that's why I'm not worried about that spot. But these here, I can weather as is. I'll probably go ahead and put those pylons on and weather. Oh, the other thing I didn't notice, it's going to be difficult for me to weather this landing well with this on. I didn't realize it till after I glued it in. I thought I was going to be able to get to it, because I kind of wanted to do it all together. Then I realized just how much that blocks it. So I will be weathering. I'll basically be weathering them now. Then I'll put the doors on at the end. So I think that's my gotchas. I think that's my list of list of gotchas and gitches and where I am and what we're doing, I am now going to go ahead, get to work on finishing this, and then yeah, we'll see where we end up. Well, we will see where I end up as I go through. I'll probably pop in after I've gotten the transfers on, and then we'll see what we got there. So with that said, again, my thanks to everybody who's pointed out information about the F-14 that I was unaware of. I appreciate it. Again, please don't take any offense to decision I may or may not make to follow said advice or hints, but it's because of what I'm working on and what I'm trying to do. So that is not dismissing your information. It's just I'm going in a different direction. Anyway, that's it. That's all I got to say. This is the with that said, I'm just sort of waffling now. I can't get my mouth to work to finish the statement. There we go. Thank you everybody for watching. I hope this was helpful. Until next time, happy modeling. There we go.